Queen waited until she was lost in the darkness, and then turned, walking past the big man in black, towards the building behind them. A single caged bulb above the doors cast a dim pool of light over the snow. Inside there were shelves stacked with all manner of instruments of death. She went in, unhurried, and ran her fingers over the various boxes and racks. Her eyes narrowed behind the mask. She paused and lifted the lid off a polished wooden crate. Inside, a pair of shining black orbs nestled in black velvet, connected by a thin braided rope. She took one in each hand and lifted them free, finding the centre of the connecting line. The woman let them drop, hanging below her knees, and stepped out into the frozen night. The man in the mask watched, dared not speak. The woman shed her cloak, but kept her mask, her clothing beneath almost ceremonial. Black cloth that clung to her muscular body, covering her hair and her head, draping around her midriff and down her legs. She held the bowler up, a hunting tool whose invention dated back centuries to South America, and admired it. She could have chosen a spear, or atlatl, any number of the curved swords, axes, flails, clubs, or other weapons she owned. But this seemed fitting for tonight. The woman began to walk, swinging the orbs slowly on their line. She paused briefly next to the man in black. He held out a crossbow to her, the string already drawn, a bolt already loaded. She lowered the bowler to the ground and took the crossbow from him, weighing it in her grasp. The Queen looked up at the man in black, and he bowed his head and moved from her path. She waited for the breeze to drop, and then lifted the nose of the crossbow, pulled it against her shoulder, and fired. The string twanged, the bolt whistling into the darkness. A sudden cry echoed back, and the Queen handed the weapon to the man in black without looking. She lifted the bowler and started forward, moving the orbs around at her side, back and forth until their pendulum swing became a full rotation. They caused a rhythmic pulsing in the still air. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Faster and faster as she built momentum. Her feet crunched in the snow as she began to run. The girl had a head start, but she'd never make it to the trees. They never did. This was her ice. This was her kingdom. And she was Queen. Chapter 2. Knock knock. Who's there? My psychopathic stalker that I promised to kill if I ever saw him again? No, she had a better one. A serial-killing organ harvester and a police inspector walk into a bar. Jamie had resorted to jokes because, frankly, her reality had become a nightmare. She was sitting in the Moose's Head, the only pub in her small town of Kurajak, between her partner, Kriminalinspektör Kjell Thorsen, a police officer of 22 years, one of the most astute, perceptive, kind and honourable men Jamie Johansson had ever known, and Elliot Day, a serial killer she'd hunted in London, a man responsible for 10 deaths she knew of, and probably dozens more she didn't. A man who abducted and killed homeless teens and adults and harvested their organs. Who... She couldn't even begin to imagine what else. He'd tricked her, betrayed her, blackmailed her, saved her life. And after all of that, she'd put a gun to his head and told him if she ever saw him again, she'd kill him. And now, here these two were, sharing a bowl of
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.